Cleveland right now is favored by 9.5, and that's because Big Ben is sitting. Other Steelers are going to be sitting. They've made the decision. There is a scenario where the Steelers could get the number 2 seed over the Buffalo Bills. If Bills lose, Steelers win, and other stuff happens. But
they don't care.
The Steelers have decided they don't care. There's no bye at stake, so they're resting Big Ben, getting him healthy because he's old.
Which is an interesting decision when you consider the funk they've been in for the majority of the last month, right? They kind of caught fire, not even caught fire. They got themselves together at the end of the Colts game, execute the comeback, throw a few deep passes in there, show them that that's still a thing, finally look a bit more like the Steelers from the 11-0 run than they did from the bad run of defeats. But, you know, you're basically saying, okay, that half got us back. We're good. We're set. And being healthy is more important than making sure we have ourselves together, which is, I mean, it's a decision.
I mean, I think there's other decisions we can discuss here too. Kansas City's going to rest everybody.
Yep.
And they already have a bye.
Yes.
So they're going to have 3 weeks off, really, for 2 full weeks off,
right.
3 weeks in between games for Patrick Mahomes, Kelsey, Tyreek, and a bunch of their starters.
And they have a long history in doing that. Right?
They do.
They're one of the teams that traditionally rest people in meaningless games more than any other team. And for a recent example of that, that was Mahomes' first game, right? Alex Smith led this team to the postseason. Week 17 against Denver, this meaningless game, was the first debut of Patrick Mahomes, the first we got to see of him.
Do you think we'll see history repeat itself?
Chad Henne comes in, becomes Hall of Famer.
I'm just saying, if Chad Henne comes in and balls out.
This is the year Chad Henne finally puts it all together.
Flip Patrick Mahomes in the offseason and build around Chad Henne.
First start since 2014, I think, for Chad Henne.
He's well rested.
He is.
This is the year. All right, let's get back to this Pittsburgh-Cleveland game. So Mason Rudolph's getting the start for the Steelers. The Browns are obviously trying to win. The hot tub gang is probably coming back. The receivers. Hot tub gang?
Oh, the hot tub gang.
Right. Group. The hot tub group. The group of receivers.
Yeah.
That was in the hot tub.
I mean, you just said that like it was like a well-known,
No, I made it up on the fly.
Yeah. That everyone would be aware of.
Made it up on the fly. I'm not biased or anything, but I would love to see the Cleveland Browns play a playoff game. So kind of rooting for this thing to happen. If they win, they're in. Biggest game in recent Browns history. Does it lose a little luster because the Steelers are playing their backup? Not really. They just win and get in there, Browns, right?
I mean, they don't care, right? For Cleveland, they just want to get in the playoffs. It loses luster for anybody watching it. I mean, it's not Browns playing the Steelers in Week 17 where both teams had something to play for, especially given the way things had been trending, at least until Cleveland, laid an egg against the Jets. Would have been really interesting, right? Browns on fire, Steelers struggling relatively, albeit coming off a win. That would have been a really interesting encounter. Now, Pittsburgh, no Big Ben. They're presumably going to rest a lot of other people as well, or at least limited action. It should be a comfortable Browns win. On the other hand, nothing would be more Cleveland Browns than finding a way to lose to Mason Rudolph with a win-and-in scenario to get to break your playoff drought. And God, when was the last time they made it? This would be the most Browns loss ever if they did.
Since 1994.
God.
They
weren't even that's old Browns, right? That's
the old Browns.
Pre-comeback Browns.
The 1999 expansion Cleveland Browns.
Has never been to the postseason.
Correct. No, sorry. They were, right? 2002.
Yeah, they made it once.
Sorry. Yeah, I lied.
Okay.
Kelly Holcomb. The Kelly Holcomb Browns.
The Kelly Holcomb
That was like
Browns.
02, I believe it was. Sorry, I didn't mean to lie.
Also, by the way, the other storyline in this game, Myles Garrett, Mason Rudolph. 2.
Yes, will there be...
One resulting in brain,
Will there be
being brained by a helmet.
I mean... Will there be round 2?
If nothing else, you would have to imagine that Myles Garrett wants to ball the hell out in this game and have the game of his life against the Steelers' offensive line.
So the interesting thing about the NFL versus other sports is you don't have the roster depth to actually rest everybody. So all 22 starters for the Steelers aren't going to be on the bench. Now, defensively, can you limit TJ Watt, Cam Hayward? Can you limit some of those guys? Absolutely, but they're going to have to play a little bit. You can't just roll 3 backup defensive linemen out there and 2 backup edge rushers and just say, hey, go play, 60, 70 snaps. So you will see some Steelers in this game. So I'm going to go back to Baker Mayfield and this Browns offense going up against. It's a good Steelers defense, whether they're resting guys or not. And I mentioned last week, you laughed at me in the preview show when I said the Jets game.
I mean, I do that a lot.
The Jets game said more about Kevin Stefanski than the Steelers game, and they blew it, man. They blew it. They blew an opportunity and put themselves into this must-win
They also
situation.
didn't have any wide receivers.
I understand. So there were factors there. But you said you lost Coach of the Year because of that game. So obviously it did mean something.
Yeah, I mean, you'll notice here that I'm prepared to latch onto anything that backs up my argument and dismiss anything that doesn't. So on that particular occasion, it suited me to mock you with that data point.
Always
Overall, it doesn't always.
Anyway, what are your thoughts on this game? It's Browns by 9.5 points, so everybody's expecting
it's a lot of points
to win.
It's a lot of points. It's a game the Browns should win. They should win comfortably. They're getting receivers back. They should be able to execute a game plan that functions. I think this is the game that you were saying the Jets game was, right? Which is it's like a test to actually prove what you are as a franchise, right? The Browns should be a playoff team this season. They've been good enough to make the playoffs for most of the year. And here is a game presented in your path between you and the postseason that you should comfortably win. It should be easy, should be one of the easier games you've had. All you need to do is to not trip over that bar and fall face first in the muck before you make the postseason. Now, that's still an achievement, right? You still need to pick your feet up and clear the bar, however low it is. But like it's a potential banana skin. So for Cleveland, I think this is that game where here's the one tiny little thing you need to achieve before you make the postseason for the first time in a long time. Can you do that, or are you still the Browns? That's basically what this is a test to see if this team is really still the Browns or if they've actually turned a corner and become something better.
All right, well, Ronnie Harrison expected back for the Browns in the back end. I'm expecting them to win. They do still have a scenario to make the playoffs even if they lose. So they're playing at 1 o'clock. The NFL does a really nice job of trying to limit dependent games and all that stuff and not play them at the same time. So if Pittsburgh does win this game, Cleveland can get in if Indianapolis loses or if Houston loses. But if the Ravens, Titans, and Colts all win and the Browns lose, it's over.
They can also, they can get in with a few weird scenarios as well. Like Miami can win and they still get in. Like there's a few permutations, but
I forgot about Miami too.
Yeah. They need help essentially if they lose.
Right. So there's still scenarios, but the Browns are looking like they're in good shape. Am I gonna come back and my words?
No, because this is one of those things that can be true both before and after the fact, right? Even if they fall flat in their face and they don't make the postseason, as of right now, they are looking good for that position. It's an easy hurdle to clear. It doesn't mean they're going to clear it.